Hey YouTube, I'm back again with another YouTube video, and as you can see by the title, today I will be talking about my labor and delivery story. But before we even get into this video, like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. And if you old, well not old, but if you already subscribed to my channel, just like and comment and hit that bell so you can know every time I post. But anyway, enough talking, let's get into this video. Alright y'all, he sleep, but I remember I was 37 weeks pregnant when my grandma, she had came up to my school. Then she had told me that I need to hurry up, go to the hospital. They said I got preeclampsia and it's a life or death situation. So I was scared when she said life or death situation, but I was finally glad to see my son. So anyway, we rushing to the hospital. And we finally get there and we tell them why we there, because they said that my doctor didn't even tell me about me coming. So they didn't even know that I was coming and didn't know no information or nothing. So I had to wait a long time to get in the room. But after a while, I finally get in the room and they put my belly, well, they put, I don't know what it's called, but they put like these circle things on my belly to check the baby heartbeat, and they had checked my blood pressure every hour and stuff, and they said everything was looking fine. Man, I didn't show no signs of preeclampsia or none of that. So I'm just like, I'm not showing no signs, so what did that doctor see? So anyway, that was like, to make sure I don't have preeclampsia, I need to stay 24 hours to take a pee test. I gotta pee in this big old jug. But so I had to do that. I started at 9:00 p.m. and ended at 9:00 p.m. the next day. But my test results didn't come back until 12 o'clock, so I had to wait a long time for my pee test. They took about 5 hours to give me back my pee test. So anyway, I ain't leaving till 2 o'clock the next day. But they said I ain't have no signs of preeclampsia. The pee didn't show no preeclampsia, and I was good. So I was so upset because I really thought I was finna see my son. But nope. But he came the next week. So next week I'm 38 weeks now. And so it was around Wednesday. I remember I didn't go to school because I was really feeling painful in my private area. I was really feeling painful. So that day I did not go to school because I was hurting. And the next day was Thursday. That's when I started my maternity leave. So I didn't have to go to school. So we went to the doctor that day. And they said I am having contractions. But I was only 1 centimeter dilated. So while that was going on, she up there sticking her finger up me, talking about some, you dilated 1 centimeter. So I go doo-doo because, I don't know, when she did that, it just made me want doo-doo. So I went to go doo-doo, and she was like, let me check you again. And I'm just like, girl, I'm already in pain. What do you want to check me for? But I know why she wanted to check me, but I was still 1 centimeter. So anyway, it was around, let's say, I'll say a good 12 o'clock when I was having contraction back to back. They would not stop. And I had said, Mama, I really need to go to the hospital. I can't do it. I think I am in labor. And turns out I was in labor too. So we go to the hospital and they put me in the room. And they tried to put me on the bed, but I had kept on getting up. Y'all, them contractions ain't no joke. I'm telling y'all, them contractions ain't no joke. Like, I kept on getting up, walking, squatting, all that. Because the walking, it really helped me a lot. I don't know if it's going to help, like, other people, but it really helped me. So that's why I kept on getting out of bed, and they kept on trying to put me on the monitor to check my baby heartbeat and stuff, but I could not stay still. So I'm just like, can y'all get my epidural, please? Can y'all get my epidural? And they're taking their precious time. Like, y'all been in labor before, right? Y'all got kids, so y'all know how it is. But anyway, they had gave me something else to slow the contractions down a little bit. Well, not slow it down, but make it less painful. Y'all hear bugaboo. But anyway, they had gave me something to make it less painful. And then so after that, I felt a little better. I was able to chill in the bed, not get up no more, and I was dozing off and stuff. I still felt the contractions, but not as much. So time passed and they put me in a new room, because there was like, the room I was in was just to be in, I guess, because the other room they put me in like a delivery room. So yeah, but anyway, once they put me in the delivery room, they had put me back on the monitor and they finally gave my epidural. And that joint was painful, but it was worth it. It was worth it, y'all. I promise. Like, I felt so much better after I got the epidural. I took a long nap, because I'm telling you, when I had my contractions, I could not sleep. Like, for them 2 days, Wednesday and Thursday, I tried to sleep through my contractions, but I couldn't even go to sleep. But time passed and my contractions were coming fast. There was like 3 centimeters dilated, 4, and then 6. So about time, yeah, I was 6. It was around 8 something when I turned 6 centimeters, because the epidural slowed my contractions down. So they had to give me something to bring them back up. So around 8 something, I was ready to push. So then they set me up on the bed, and then they turned me sideways. So once they turned me sideways, they was like, this is how you gonna push. So it was time for me to push, and then they was like, push, give it all you got. So I'm pushing, I'm like, I'll push it as hard as I can. And so after a while, I kept pushing, and I was like, what am I doing wrong? My grandma did tell me some,
girl, push, you doing too much, push. You're there trying to be cute.
I'm like, girl, who is you talking about? Is you pushing a baby out your coochie?
And
No. So anyway, the doctors had told me that his head was stuck. That's why they kept on telling me to push, but he wouldn't come out. So they had to cut around his head, y'all. They had to cut around his head, y'all. Like, so y'all know I was in pain when that epidural rolled off. But anyway, after they cut around his head, they told me to push 2 more times. So I pushed him 1 time, and his head was sliding out, and I had did that one last push, and then I felt all the relief, y'all. I felt all the relief, like, cause when I was pushing, y'all, and I was having contraction, it felt like I had a boo-boo, but I didn't. That was just my contractions. But anyway, I finally hold him for the first time, and I'll show a picture right there of me holding him for the first time. I was so happy, y'all. Like, that's a feeling of a whole different level. That's a feeling like, oh, I know I'm gonna love my son forever. I'm never gonna hurt him or none of that. So that was an unconditional love feeling right there that I never thought I would feel before. But I was so happy. And I know I'm a teen mom, but having a child is so much of a blessing. So that day, he finally came out, and I was finally seeing him. But anyway, after they washed him up and stuff, they let him stay with me in my room. But my mama, she stayed with me the first day, because I couldn't get out of bed, because since they had to cut around around his head, they had to sew me back up, and I couldn't get out of bed or nothing. So the next day, they took my baby, y'all. And I was the whole time, y'all, I swear, the whole time I was thinking about them Lifetime movies when they be take them teen mom's child and stuff, and taking, well, any mom child from the hospital. That's why I was really scared when they took my child, because I'm just like, but they took him because I couldn't get out of bed and I wouldn't be able to change him or feed him or none of that. So y'all, I was so scared. But that is my labor and delivery story time. So if you liked this video, like, comment, and subscribe, and give that bell a ring so you can know every time I post. And thank you for watching.